war situation, and the news is coming that Iraq's base is hit. A base in Iraq is hit, in which six soldiers of France have been wounded in Iranian drone attack. This Assalamu alaikum. We are live here to discuss Iran war situation, and this is the footage from French military base in Iraq. French military base in Iraq has been targeted by Iranian drone. In this attack, six French These are visuals from within Iran. Israel and US have targeted the IRGC facilities. This is Iran. IRGC facilities have been targeted by Israel and the US. Israel and US bombing is continuing on Iran, and IRGC facilities have been targeted here in the area attacks by Iran and Israel. These are visuals from there. And today, this is Iranian missile being fired at Israel. Base in Iraq. The breaking news is that French base in Iraq has been hit by The breaking news is that French base has been hit by an Iranian drone, and that is an allegedly that is the news, because it can be a false flag attack. It can be a false flag attack, and with now the French government and the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, might now consider retaliation against Iran. So it can be a false flag attack to drag France and French forces into this war as well against Iran. It can be a false flag attack as well, and it can be an Iranian drone attack by Iran itself as well. So, as this is a developing story, we'll update you whether Iran claims the attack or not. And these are the visuals, latest visuals when Iran was hit. The IRGC facilities and the besieged police offices when they were hit by America and Israeli air forces. The visuals from Iran when aerial bombing was done by Israel and the US in Iran targeting the IRGC facilities. Let me look for the visuals in which France's air base was targeted by Iran, and in that air, 6 French soldiers have been wounded, and it can be basically a false flag attack to drag France into the war against Iran. These are visuals from Israel. Previously we showed you the visuals from Iran. The previous video was from Iran when IRGC facilities were hit by Iran, in Iran by Israel and US. Now these are visuals from Israel, Tel Aviv. And please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well. The breaking news is that French base in Iraq has been hit by Iranian drone. This is a developing story. It needs confirmation yet. It can be a false flag attack to drag France into the war against Iran. Let's see if Iran accepts it that it did attack the French base in which 6 French soldiers are wounded, or Iran denies the attack. If Iran denies those attacks, that means that would be definitely a false flag attack, because Iranians have not denied the attack previously done on the Gulf countries and US bases. 1 to 2 attacks they denied that were on oil facilities such as Aramco in Saudi Arabia. The Iranians did telephone as well the Saudi authorities, saying that they did not attack on this Aramco oil facilities, and all the other attacks they claim that they did attack the US bases in the Middle Eastern countries such as Saudi Arabia, Oman, Kuwait, Bahrain and UAE, but they denied the attack in the Aramco oil facility. Now if Iran rejects that they didn't attack the French base, it's definitely a false flag attack. Let's see, wait for Iran's response. Do they claim the attack or they reject the attack on the French base in which 6 French soldiers have been wounded? Let me look for the visuals in the French base attack in which 6 are wounded. These are visuals from RT channel. This RT channel is a Russian channel. It is showing that Iran is launching ballistic missiles towards Israel. Please do comment your opinion whether the attack on French base on in Iraq by Iran, is it a false flag attack? Are there chances of it being a false flag attack, or do you think that Iran did that attack? I don't think so. Iran did that attack because there is no purpose of Iran doing that. Why would Iranians attack the French when the French are not fighting against them? The French government and is, yes, publicly criticizing the Iranian regime, but they are not practically fighting against Iran. I don't think so. Iran will be targeting French directly. So, what's your point and take on it? Yes, the French attack did happen now. It's latest news. I wait for the visuals come, then I'll share with you the visuals of French base being targeted by Iran, allegedly, quote unquote. Just wait for the confirmation, and once the visuals come, I'll share with you the French being. Okay, these are when the oil tankers are destroyed in the Persian Gulf. I saw a comment that I saw the comment asking for the update on the attack on oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz and in the Persian Gulf. And now these are the visuals in which the oil tankers are being targeted by Iran, which try to pass through the Strait of Hormuz and the Persian Gulf. The oil tankers being targeted. Iran clearly said that we won't allow any oil tanker to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. The US did try to. The US did try that. That is the direct shot at an oil tanker. The US did try to open the Strait of Hormuz, and they did try to convince people to start trade through Strait of Hormuz, but the Iranians clearly said a big no. The moment when oil tankers were shot in the Strait of Hormuz, and do you think, okay, let's discuss Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz is closed from the very first day or the second day of the war, after the assassination was confirmed of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Now, with the Strait of Hormuz being closed, America, yesterday or day before yesterday, the US president said that we won't allow Iranians to deploy mines in order to close Strait of Hormuz. and he also said that he has taken down and destroyed small fast boats which could have been used to deploy mines in the Strait of Hormuz. So there's one side, US and Israel, destroying the fast boats and saying they won't allow the Strait of Hormuz to be closed. And on the other side, we have these visuals coming out. On the other side, we have these visuals coming out in which the oil tankers are firstly warned, and after the warning, they are directly destroyed and shot by the missiles and the explosives and the speedboats. And these are the visuals coming out. This oil tanker is being destroyed by Iranians. Can America, the big question is, can US prevent Iran from closing? This is a very tricky thing. Can US prevent Iran from closing Strait of Hormuz? Because Strait of Hormuz, it's not only one thing that the Strait of Hormuz can be closed with. There are multiple options Iran has. Purely talking from the wargaming perspective, that Iran has multiple strategies by which it can block the Strait of Hormuz. Not only one strategy. Okay, they can deploy mine. That's the most obvious one. They can deploy mines in the Strait of Hormuz. Number one. Number two, they have fast speedboats, and that speedboats are like suicidal boats, and they can directly they're suicidal boats, and they can directly hit the oil tankers. And obviously, they are oil tankers, and when the boat gets hit, it would burst into flames. The oil tankers would burst into flames. This is number two, mines, and the number two, those fast speed boats. Number three, on the coastline of Iran, there are Iranian soldiers, Iranian IRGC Navy, and the soldiers and the coast guards. They can shoot down with rockets and with the missiles any oil tanker which tries to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. So this is not there is not only one possible scenario in which the Strait of Hormuz can remain closed. There are many possible scenarios with mines, with fast speedboats, with missiles, with rockets, with the people of IRGC on the coastline of Iran, and they're directly targeting the oil tankers. So there are multiple with the drones. Obviously, the Shahid drone is very effective, have proven to be very effective in this war. How can we forget that? So multiple options with drones, with missiles, and with mines, with small speedboats, with rockets, with direct IRGC coastline soldiers. So multiple options Iran has to close that Strait of Hormuz. What US can do to prevent Iran from closing that Strait of Hormuz is, okay. I'm showing you another page because what US can do is to open the Strait of Hormuz for trade, is that the US has to continuously bomb the small speedboats and the coastline of Iran. But still, bombing won't be enough, because during that bombing, how can the Strait of Hormuz remain open? Because once the bombing is going on, how can the Strait of Hormuz can function normally? The Strait of Hormuz cannot function normally when bombing is taking place, obviously. And the Strait of Hormuz cannot function normally. This is when the few days before the oil tanker was shot. These are from visuals from UAE. So the Strait of Hormuz, what the US can do is to uh, open the Strait of Hormuz is bombing, but then what solve it, because with bombing going on, no trade can take place through Strait of Hormuz. Uh, US Navy deployment, naval deployment permanently in the Strait of Hormuz can be one which can allow the trade to become normalized through prevent the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, US Navy. So up till now, the Strait of Hormuz is closed. Up till now, the Strait of Hormuz is closed, and trade is through that of the world is through this. Please do subscribe the channel and like the videos as well. Okay, when we see these kind of videos from UAE and Qatar, and meaning thereby that when the oil facilities are hit in UAE and Oman yesterday, the oil tankers and storage facilities were hit by Iran and Oman, and when in Bahrain and then in Qatar, the gas facilities were hit, and Aramco oil facility in Saudi Arabia was hit. Iranian president has clearly said that if US and Israel continue attack continue their attacks on Iranian oil facilities, then Iran will retaliate. I'm just telling you their position, what's Iran is posturing, and what is their position. Yeah. US is saying, Iran is saying that if Israel and US is continues their attack on Iranian oil facilities, then then Iran will attack the oil facilities and the gas facilities in the Middle Eastern countries, meaning thereby Iran will attack Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, their oil facilities as well. If Iran's oil facilities is targeted by US and Israel. So how's those gas prices in America? Obviously, not in only in America, in the whole world, the prices of gas and oil are and the petrol diesel the prices are like going high. And they did come down for some time, for a few hours, basically, when President Trump said that he phoned President Putin and they talked for negotiations on ceasefire to start. The prices did take a dip, but soon afterwards, when the war still is continuing, the prices are going up, and so and US has up till now $11 billion they have spent on this war in war against Iran. $11 billion of a US budget has been spent in this war. Do please subscribe the channel and like the video as well. And the breaking news is that there's an alleged attack on and this attack is on IRGC facilities. There's a comment saying that we don't need Iranian oil. The notice that when the Strait of Hormuz is closed, the 20% of the oil which passes through the Strait of Hormuz, and that oil is not necessarily does mean that it's only Iranian oil. It's the oil of Gulf countries as well. When the world 20% of the oil stops, the price naturally goes up. That's why President Trump is forcing Iranians and trying hard that Iran and to prevent Iran from closing the Strait of Hormuz. These attacks are on IRGC facilities. These attacks are on IRGC facilities and besieged police facilities in Iran. Okay, let's ask a question from you guys that do you think that who do you think that will have the last laugh, and meaning thereby who will win the war? Is it Iran gonna win, or is it US gonna win? This is now latest and new. This is allegedly these are the visuals of French base hit by Iran. French base is obviously hit, but by whom? Allegedly by Iran. The reports are coming that allegedly Iranian drone hit the French base in Iraq, and 6 of the French soldiers have been wounded by this attack. Only time will confirm whether it was actually Iran who did it, or is it was it a false flag attack. Only time will confirm it. And was it a false flag attack, or Iran actually did that. French base hit by a drone in which six of the French soldiers have been wounded. And there's another question tied to that, that will there's another question tied to that, that whether after this attack does France restrain against Iran? And then you see where it is clearly heading. It is the war now will be expanded if France jumps into this war. So this conflict will be growing bigger and bigger if that does happen. Which were trying to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, and oil facility in Bahrain is also hit. So this clearly shows you that where things are heading, and in last the 2 to 3 oil tankers are hit. Bahrain oil facility is hit, and there is. 2 to 3 oil tankers have been hit fit for trying to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, and Bahrain oil facility is hit. And what does that mean is you did join now. You were saying that do I have the videos of Iran? I did show Iranian videos from Iran as well, in which the IRGC facilities and their airports and their bases were hit by Israel, and the satellite images were showing that before and after version, in which from US perspective, these were successful strikes in which IRGC facilities and the missile sites and the bases, air bases of IRGC were hit in Iran. I did show those visuals as well. If now I come across those visuals, I'll be showing you them too again. Please do subscribe the channel, like the video as well. These are visuals when the hypersonic missiles carrying multiple warheads towards Israel. The interceptor missiles missed the incoming missiles. When I'm showing you this video, I don't say that the interceptor missiles, every time the interceptor missiles misses the Iranian incoming missile. Obviously, many of the times interceptor missiles do intercept the incoming Iranian missiles. But in this kind, and sometimes do into the Iranian missiles and the warheads do manage to make the impact in Israel as well. This is the video in which you can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 5. Count them again. 2 to 3, I guess, were the missiles. And then the interceptor missiles 1, 2, and 3. 3 interceptor missiles, and the incoming Iranian missiles 4 interceptor missiles, and the incoming Iranian missiles dodges all of the 4 Iranian interceptor missiles, and the Iranian missiles dodges it and then manages to make the impact. You see there, and here is the impact. Do count them again and look at it again. First interceptor, second interceptor missile being launched from Israel. Now comes the third one, the fourth one, and there the first miss, the second miss, and there is that Iranian missile manages to make the impact. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 interceptors launched. One misses. The missile evades the interception and manages to make the impact. In this video you can see that many of the missiles get intercepted. There you see those being intercepted. Now coming to the point where what I'm showing you here, let's go back to that very same point. Let's go back to very same point about Strait of Hormuz, that there are many ways to close the Strait of Hormuz, not only one. This is an unmanned underwater vehicle. You can call it unmanned underwater vehicle, and it travels underwater, obviously, and it is unmanned. How can you intercept it from air? How can you intercept it from any ballistic or cruise missile? You can't. So this makes very difficult for the Strait of Hormuz to be opened again. For those saying I don't show the Iranian visuals in which Iranians have been attacked and their facilities have been attacked, here is the one, the latest one, in which IRGC facilities and the besieged police facilities have been hit by Israel and US. This fact is very obvious that Israel and US have air superiority over Iran. Their air force are way much superior than Iranian air forces, with F-22s, Raptors, and F-35s and F-16s and F-15 Strike Eagles and B-52 and B-2 bombers. The air superiority is very clear and obvious of US and Israel over Iran. And there you see the effects of the air superiority. The Iranian IRGC facilities and besieged police facilities being targeted, and it is due to these that air superiority and that Israel and US in the very first hour they did manage to assassinate the top IRGC leadership and the Ayatollah, the supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. But Iran, on the other hand, is very effectively utilizing its missiles. Its Khorram-Sharr 4 missile, its Khorram-Sharr missile, hypersonic missile, and its Al-Fatah series missiles, its Sajil missiles, and these missiles are proving to be very effective. This is in Bahrain when a drone hits a Bahrainian multi-story building. Bahrain hosts US Naval Fifth Fleet. This is again Iran when the Clerical city Qom was heavily bombed by American B-2 bombers. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well. An oil tanker. US owned oil tanker hit by Iran trying to pass through Strait of Hormuz. What Iran has basically done is that what Iran is basically what Iran has basically done that is Iran has heavily invested in the drones and missiles and their speedboats and their unmanned speedboats. And by these drones and missiles and unmanned speedboats, that suicidal boats, Iran manages to close the Strait of Hormuz. These are rockets and missiles from Hezbollah. The cost of the war is getting higher and higher day by day. Let's talk about this was a moment when US oil tanker was blown up by Iran in the Strait of Hormuz. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well. Okay, we have let's summarize 2 to 3 breaking news and the major events of the day. Number first being obvious, the video I am showing you is that of the Strait of Hormuz, in which the oil tanker was directly hit. 2 to 3 oil tankers have been hit today, and this is number one. Number two is that Iran has clearly threatened and said that if their oil facilities are being targeted by Israel and US, then Iran will target across the Middle East. Iran will target the oil and gas facilities of the countries hosting the US bases as well. And that's was number two. And number three was that if the war prolongs, Iran said that the US tech companies would also be targeted, hinting that big tech giants like Google, will also be targeted. Their offices and their buildings and apartments would also be targeted. That those tech giants would also be targeted. These were some summaries from the events which happened today. And last but not the least, Masoud Pezeshkian, the president of Iran, has clearly stated that Masoud Pezeshkian, the president of Iran, clearly stated that his terms of ceasefire of this war is that he said that the US and Israel should provide for the damages they have done to the Iranian people and Iranian buildings and infrastructure. The damages they should be providing damages. And number two, they want. They shouldn't be telling Iran what to do or what not to do. Iran can, meaning thereby, Iran can make and invest in its missile program and the nuclear program. And number three was that the international community should make assure that no future aggression would be done by Israel and US against Iran. These terms are to be fulfilled by Israel and what do you think that are these that was some huge impact. What do you think that are these conditions justified by the president of Iran, Masoud Pezeshkian, if a ceasefire is to take place? He said that Iran can invest in missile and nuclear. The US and Israel should pay for the damages they have done to the infrastructure of Iran. And number three, that no future aggression. The international community should make sure that no future aggression would be done by US and Israel on Iran. The main points. So, do you think that are these justified or not? No, this is not another school attack. This is basically American drone hitting PMF in Iraq. PMF is one of the pillars of axis of resistance in Iraq. The axis of resistance of Iran are obviously it was Hamas in Gaza, which is now under a lot of pressure from Israel as well, and they are not that effective as they were a year or two ago. And number two is number two is Hezbollah from Lebanon, and number three is Houthi from Yemen, and number four is PMF in Iraq. So this is basically attack on a PMF by US Lucas drone, a kamikaze drone hitting the PMF in Iraq. These PMF is basically a part of axis of resistance, and Iranians do support it, and they do support Iran as well. The big question is why does what's the reason and logic and rationale behind supporting PMF and the Houthis and the Hezbollah and the Hamas Why Iran was supporting them? The answer to it is very simple. Iran wanted, up till now, Iran wanted that. Iran was very aware, fully aware that at one point in time, that would Israel and the US would be targeting Iran, and they made this preem of this axis of resistance so as to keep the war away from their borders as long as they can, to keep the border away from uh, for as long as they can, to keep the war away from the borders. Oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, destruction. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well. These are the visuals. You can see the Strait of Hormuz, oil tankers. This was about yesterday when B-2 bombers and the B-52 planes bombed heavily the Qom city of Iran. The Qom is often called as the clerical capital of Iran. That was heavily bombed by Iran, heavily bombed by US, by US using B-52 bombers. Iran, after the assassination of the top leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and the leadership behind have totally been decentralized. And but Mustafa Khamenei from people are saying release full Epstein files. How can I release the Epstein files? It's the duty of the Justice Department of America to release the Epstein files. Do you guys? I have a question for you guys. That do you guys really think that it is because of Epstein files that U.S. has and the President Donald Trump has jumped into this war? Okay, let's discuss some thing which I noticed in the comments. One thing is that when I show the visuals of Israel being targeted, the people call me the IRGC propagandist. And when I show the visuals of Iran being struck, and I call for say that the facts that Israel and US have a clear air superiority over Iran, people call me that I am supporting Israel and US. I'm clearly spitting facts that yes, Israel and US do have a superiority over Iran, and the Iranian air force is totally outdated. And on the very other hand, as well, it's also the fact that Iranian missiles have proven to be effective, and Iranian drones have proven to be effective. That's why Iranians regime is still holding on these grounds. That's why Iranian regime is still holding its ground, and US have not been able to successfully may cause a regime change in Iran. It's because their effective strategy of Iran, and they effectively closed the Strait of Hormuz, and they have effectively targeted the U.S. bases in the Middle East, and they have used that Shahid drone, which cost only $20,000, and with that $20,000, they took out $1.1 billion early warning radar system of. They took out $1.1 billion worth of early warning radar system, which can detect the incoming missiles and drones from 5,000 kilometers, possibly from other continents as well. But that was taken down by Iranian 20,000 drone. So yes, both sides have uh, you can say that both sides have edges over other side, and both sides have superiority over the other side. What do you think that will the new leader of Iran, the supreme leader, the new Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei, the son of late Ali Khamenei, will he follow the footsteps of his late father, or will he be more negotiable? Will US and Israel find him more negotiable, or will he prove to be more aggressive to US and Israel? Your thoughts on Mujtaba Khamenei? Please do comment your thoughts on him as well. Somebody said that he has lost half of his body so far, and he won't be live, I guess, if he has lost half of the body so far. Now coming to who would win the war, it's just basically mathematical calculations that who would win the war. When I said mathematical calculations, I said that when I say they are Putin fans in the conversations as well. When I say that who will win the war is basically that it's total mathematical calculations and who will blink first. If US thinks and Israel thinks that they are low on interceptors, then it's definitely they're gonna blink and they call out for ceasefires and engage in international community, and that would mean a clear win and for Iran, as they would be in better position to negotiate. And if US and if Iran blinks first, meaning thereby they run low on the Iranian missiles, the Khurramshah, the Fateh, and the Sachil missiles, and the Shahid drones. If they run low on those drones, then obviously Iran's gonna not be in good position then, and the US and Israel will have upper hand in the negotiation of ceasefire talks. So it would be a big win for Israel and US. So it's about total maths. Both sides will be calculating on their stockpiles of ammunitions. The US and Israel will be literally counting their interceptors, and the Iranians will literally will be counting the drones and their missiles, and they'll be calculating for how long they can basically close the Strait of Hormuz as well. And while this happens, there can be surprise elements in this war as well. We have seen many up till now, and for now, the most famous was for as of today was the French base in Iraq was targeted allegedly by Iran, and if this allegedly the French base was targeted by Iran, and if France says that they did investigate it and it was actually Iran, then they might jump into the war as well, and the Iranians would have a new enemy to fight too as well, and that would put massive pressure on Iran. And if it was a false flag attack, it can be a false flag attack to drag France into the war. We'll see what happens. But in that attack in French base, six French soldiers have been wounded. This is when the suicide boat I was talking about, the suicidal boats, fast boats in the Strait of Hormuz, directly hit, and suicide boat or kamikaze drones hitting the oil tankers. Then how can you like literally war is going in that Strait of Hormuz? The US bombing the boats, the fast boats, and the fast boats, the suicidal boats, just banging themselves into the walls of the oil tankers. Literally, the war is going on over there, and how can, in that war situation, the normal trade can happen? The war itself is keeping this Strait of Hormuz closed, with Iranians obviously thinking of deploying the mines and using the missiles and the rockets, and the coastline of the Iran. The IRGC soldiers are utilizing that to close the Strait of Hormuz, the mines, the missiles, the rockets, the drones, the suicidal boats, the underwater unmanned vehicles. They are using all this to close the Strait of Hormuz, and the US wants to. Uh, Please do subscribe the channel, like the video as well. This is when Hezbollah was firing the rockets and the missiles. Do you think that this war can turn into Do you think that this this regional conflict can turn into a global one, or it won't? And before that, the ceasefire talks would begin, or 43 missiles, new missiles launched by Iran over multiple targets in Iraq as well on as well Israel as well. This is when it gets tricky for the interceptors when there is the cluster of missiles. Iranian missiles can traveling at hypersonic speed can carry up till 80 warheads and in the form of the cluster. And when cluster warheads are coming, the cost of defending becomes too high. Number one, because in order to intercept a drone or to intercept the cluster of incoming missiles, a single missile launched from an air defense system such as Patriot or THAAD costs $1 million. $1 to $2 million is the cost of the one missile, which is needed to intercept that incoming missiles. The cost is of the war is getting high. Already, US has spent $11 billion into this war. US has already spent $11 billion into this war. And when these clusters of missiles are incoming, the cost of the war for US and Israel is getting high. And number two is that when these clusters of missiles come, even if most of them get intercepted, few do manage to make impact. When you see that airy warheads do come in one single missile, even if 10 or 5 make an impact, that is huge. Basically, a warhead falling, making an impact is huge in that area in the region. So it's not like 80 out of 80 do have to make the impact. It's not like that. If even 5 or 10 make an impact, that is huge. Because for interceptor for because when an Iranian missile is launched, in Israel only there are 5 layered defense air defense systems: the Arrow 1 system, the Arrow 2 air defense system, and the Arrow 1 missile system, the Arrow 2 air defense system, the THAAD defense system, the Patriot defense system, and the Iron Dome. the 5 layered air defense system Israel has. And even after that, if two, three, or four out of one out of those 80 warheads, even three, four, five, six do manage to make impact. From Iranian perspective, they would call it the huge success because these are only in Iraq, Israel, the 5 defense systems, and even before when the missiles travels from all the way through Iran, it can be intercepted at many places. U.S. Navy can intercept it in the Mediterranean. The, Jordan has U.S. defense systems. Azerbaijan, Syria, Iraq, Kuwait, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain. All of these are places where U.S. Presence is there, and they do intercept it for Israel, these missiles. And for the missiles crosses evades these interception areas and then enters Israeli skies and then passes 5 defense layer systems, Air 1, 2, and THAAD and Patriot and Iron Dome, and then manages to make an impact. So you see here, that is quite of achievement, talking from Iranian perspective as well. And this process, this is the video showing Lebanon, Hezbollah, basically targeting with missiles and rockets the Israel. These are footages of Hezbollah targeting Lebanon, targeting Israel from Lebanon. The faces are blurred. Now, Netanyahu is saying that we will make it to the return of Messiah, but this will not happen next Thursday. Netanyahu also said that he needs Iranian people's help for regime change as well, and he said that we'll make it to the return of Messiah as well. You see clearly where this is heading. Netanyahu saying that we'll make it to the return of Messiah, and previously Lindsey Graham also said that, Lindsey Graham is a U.S. senator. He also said that Lindsey Graham, a U.S. senator, also said that it's a religious war, and Iranians do believe that it's a religious war as well. So all of the 3 faiths, the Iranian regime with the Islamic faith, and Lindsey Graham, obviously evangelical Christians, and they also do believe that it's a religious war. And the Jews, Netanyahu, also said that it's a kind of a religious war, because when he says that we'll make it to the return of the Messiah, it means he's fighting a religious war. So here you see that all of the 3 faiths, people from all the 3 faiths believe that it is a religious war and it is fought for the religious purposes. This is when US bombed the defense building in Kuwait. U.S. defense building in Kuwait was attacked at. And please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well. Let's discuss some post-war scenario as well. Uh, do you think that these Middle Eastern countries would still allow uh, do you still believe that, oh sorry, do you guys believe, please do comment that, do you guys believe or think that will, what do you think on this, that will these Middle Eastern countries, UAE and Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, and Bahrain, Oman, will these Middle Eastern countries allow US bases on their soil post-war, or will they say that that their soils can't be used for future attacks on Iran or any other country, because Iran has targeted those countries as well, and damages as well. So post-war scenario will the Middle Eastern countries would allow their land to be used again, and they would host EU spaces as well, or they'd say no to US the post-war, or they can say no, or they can't. Your opinion on it? These are the moments when French bases in Iraq were targeted, wounding French soldiers. طبعا هذا سفينتين مو وحده ولد. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well. If you have some questions, please do ask. طبعا هذا سفينتين مو وحده ولد. Iranian spokesperson saying that, which I reported to you earlier, that if Iranian spokesperson said that if US and Israel continue bombing our oil oil facilities, then we'll continue bombing the oil facilities and the gas facilities in Middle Eastern countries as well. These were the moments when Hezbollah launched and fired missiles at Israel. Yes, allegedly it is Israel. This is when yesterday the oil tankers in the Salalah port of Oman were targeted by Iran. This was today when the oil tankers were directly hit. Kamikaze drone hitting PMF buildings and places. The PMF is Iranian supported group in Iraq. USA targeted the PMF by the Lucas drone. Please do subscribe the channel and like the video as well. This is one the PMF. This is one the PMF places and the buildings were hit by a Lucas drone of US. The PMF is an organization supported and a group supported by Iran, and it is in Iraq. Yesterday, when the clerical capital of Iran, Qom, which is often called the clerical capital of Iran, was heavily bombed by US. They did probably used the bunker buster bombs over there. Time to take a break, and this is it for now. This was today when oil tanker were hit in the oil tanker trying to pass through the Strait of Hormuz was hit by a suicidal Iranian boat.